It is wisdom and spiritual sensitivity to know that a thing is changing or about to change. I welcome those of you watching online. We're together. There are people who can be with you or be around you or be in a place and not be able to pick the signals of the Spirit that a thing is about to change. You know, before a plane lands or take off, there are signals that it gives. But once they are able to pick the signals, they know. They just know. It is time to begin to delete certain things. This fasting should be a different one. In the sense that when you want to achieve something new, you stop doing the things you do the way you do them. Are you with me? You now begin to seek for new formulas, new ideas. Do you know what Jesus said in that kind of moment, gaining such thing? Jesus said, watch and pray. And when you study the writings of Paul, you discover that watchings, there are different watchings. He didn't just stay, stand and be looking. Observe as you pray. Observe and pray. Every formula will not solve all the equations you will ever meet in life. You don't have one formula that will solve all the equations you meet in life. Every equation will be solved by the formula that will tackle it. This is very important. Night of Beauty is different from unmasking the Pythonic spirit. Unmasking the Pythonic spirit is different from help from above. Help from above is different from Chronicles of Miracles. Chronicles of Miracles is different from Acts of the Apostles. Acts of the Apostles is different from a crossover service. A crossover service is different from the Forerunner Conference. If we plan it and approach it the same way we plan and approach these other programs, we will have the same exact result. And the moment we sit down and begin to blame ourselves and say, what really went wrong? I want us first not to look at the external bodies. We should look inward first. That we didn't approach it the way that God wanted us to approach it. Wherever we are as a church is as a result of the formula we have applied. I'll say that again. Wherever we are right now, the location, the point, the level we are as a church right now is as the formulas that we have applied. Which means it is possible for the church, giftings, for every one of us seated here today and those watching online, to wake up and discover that something drastic has happened to the church. That this is not the church I left before I traveled. This was not the church I attended 2 or 3 months ago. That all of a sudden, I am seeing troops of people, thousands of people coming into the place, getting to know the church, getting to know about the man of God, getting to assess our things, our materials. And you all of a sudden go back and ask yourself, what really changed? What truly changed? This is something many of us have not even sat down. Let me tell you something. Many years ago, when we got to Oworo, when the Lord instructed me to start the church, and there was this struggle. You know, one day I was having a conversation with Brother Tony, and I was sharing some things with him. And I told him how, my plan was to escape. I did everything to change the mind of God. So part of my prayer point was that the church should not even work, so that the Lord was okay. Now I've seen that this thing has not worked, or I do another thing. Because I was okay with, running ministries and fellowship, so that I don't want to father anybody. That's just the thing. I don't want extra load and responsibility, because pastoring is responsibility. You have to look after the sheep. You will trim them. You will correct them. You will scold them. You will reprove them. And like some of us know how families where we came out from. Sometimes our parents are correcting us. We are murmuring. It happened in church too. Why are you looking at me like that? Sometimes they are telling you something. Our parents are telling us some things. We feel they don't know that we know better. It happens in church too. You are telling someone this song is not good, and the person is saying, but I was led. Not knowing that whatever is leading the person or leading the person is not the right leading. And you are telling the person no. And just like some of us, our parents talk to us, scold us, and we don't eat. It happens in church too. We refuse to write notes. We will not take notes again. We are angry, but we still see. You wake up the next day and greet your parents. Daddy, mommy. So the same thing, we bring it in church too. Yes. We do it. You think I'm joking? It's the same thing. It's not family. So you see the pastor, what he spoke to you, or there are some leaders here. It's not that 365 days in a year that they have liked everything I have done. But they still wake up in the morning. So that family, they bring it. They bring it. So I didn't want those extra responsibility. I wanted to also live my life and do some things. There's some other things too I wanted to carry out. But the Lord kept compelling me, so I had to So when we got started, now watch this. It has always been, I moved from, I just move, do things. I've raised leaders, send them. Many are top pastors today and they are doing well. Some of my daughters are married to men of God. I'm happy. So when I said, like one called me today from Abuja, and I'm like, I didn't even know. In the morning, I just blessed him. He called back. He said, sir, it's me. I said, who is you? When he told me, I said, wow, where have you been? It's been 12 years, 10 years or something, ages, I've not seen you. He said, sir, and I said, what about your mom? She said, it's late. She died. How did you get my number? I said, sir, I had to go on. I know that somehow online I will see you. So I just saw you online. So sometimes I said, let me get there. I said, wow. So he says, I'm coming back to Lagos. I need to tell some. So I saw the church. I need to tell them some things. So you want to tell them? What is this thing you want to tell them? So, he attended Unilag. Those were my access to those, but let's skip that. Now, the church started and we're doing well. But I've taught you something. There is a spirit and there is a system. A spirit can be in a place, but there's no system. When you chase the spirit, thing will just go. Phew. But when a system is in place, you can't bind it. You would dismantle it. And dismantling it takes time. Did you get what I just said now? So we had a system. We had some people who came because of what was happening. Sir, let us have men's group, women's group, youth. It will also aid. I said, okay. So they started. My focus was the word. Now, every service, weekdays, people will always come. Members will come. Pastor is always around. So we sit down like family members. And the Lord in heaven was watching me. I was gradually accepting a system that will later evolve into a spirit. It was part of the things I do not want. So gradually a system was forming. And when a man of God is not strong-willed, you don't stand on those things that the Lord has told you. When the system finally builds and becomes strong, you can't break it. You can't even break whatever you claim you started. So some of these men now went aside, and some of these women went aside. They started having contribution. They started loaning money. Are you seeing the system? The women are now quarreling. When you come to the church, we have more cooler in church and plate than people selling. It was a system. So when you come and you say, tell your neighbor, God bless you. This one will look at this side. It's as if it's just selected few that just say, God bless you. There was something in the church. Now, that gave room to enormous gossip. So when we have programs, I only have few that I could depend on that would do something. The large majority of the people are not in good terms. It was a system. The church was malnourished. You preach, and the people do not carry the understanding. One day I got stuck. And I took a 3-day fast. And the Lord said to me, the child you gave birth to, go and kill the child. I said, child? Which child? You have given birth to something different from what I called you to do. So I came. I knew exactly what the Lord was talking about. A system was gradually growing. And he told me, he said, what you do not understand is that this thing, you will not exceed 50, 70 people. 100. The moment you have a program, you grow to like 150, you will come back because this body do not accept external bodies. The system does not welcome external body. It is we know ourselves. We know our family. So it's like a family thing. So an external person, the moment a visitor comes or a first timer visits the church, there is a system that the person meets that becomes uncomfortable and he leaves. I don't know if you are getting what I'm saying. So it's still we. So when we do the program, I already know that Pastor Chi will sit here. They wrote your generation's name on top of this chair. Your children yet unborn, 15 centuries coming, 34 centuries gone. This is their seat. This is Deacon Ima's own. If you ever come in and he's not here, we know after the service somebody is missing. So we'll just go and say, Deacon Ima is not here. On no condition will you ever find Brogbemi going to that place to sit down. No, the system does not permit it. And if you ever find someone sitting there, we'll call the person after the service and say, that was my seat. Why did you sit there? Now, it has now built from system to a spirit. The spirit now became a spirit that questions growth and questions influence. I now have double job. I must first bind, cast out, and dismantle the system, which the Bible calls monument. And if you dismantle the system, I will clear the rubble. The work became much. So the first thing I did was not minding. I had to employ what God told Jeremiah. Look not on their faces. So I came. And I've called the men. Because one of the Thanksgiving we had, they said they were going to give this one. This one said they were going to give this one. It was looking appetizing to you as the man of God. But the danger behind was more than whatever you see. So it was not me. So I said, we dissolve it. I don't want men's meeting, men's program, men's cell, men's club, men's whatever. Cancelled. Women, cancelled. Children, cancelled. Youth, cancelled. Everybody, cancelled. After all, how did you even get to all these things? Let's come to service. Now, I called for a program. We had a program. We started praying. Nobody knew the agenda of the program and the prayer. It was rebuking those spirits. By the time I rebuked that, we now dismantled all of these things. Now, do you know what happened? It shifted. And some people left because of that thing. And they were saying, like, why do you, he is thinking he is the only person. But I have to salvage my life and the call of God. So that's why till date, you don't have men's meeting. You don't have women's forum. Because it was not part of the vision that was given. So the system was destroyed. And you know one thing? We now grew a bit. I could see fresh faces now coming in to settle in the church. Before, it was the same we, the person's daughter or sister or friend that is in the choir. So the discussion of whatever you see that still happen here, they are in charge of the money. So they know the amount of the offering that you give. So the thing still set. Are you getting what I'm saying? The system. So the witchcraft was there. So, what was that thing? So when that now happened, and they came and locked up the place, I was happy. So I thank God. You people should go home. When we find another hall, ask them. That's what. When we find another place, you say, sir, how can they close church? They don't close this one. So I drove everybody home. For months, there was no service. I was rested. At least there's no men's meeting, no women, no children, no anybody. And so we run our own church. And I was happy. I said, thank God. So I could wake up, I read my own Bible by myself, not seeing anybody's face. There was nobody to call. We had to come back again. So when we came back, some people came, Now, after a while, the Lord told us to use Jones Land. The same people now went back and said, how can pastor go to a hotel to start a church? Does he want prostitutes to collect our husband? As though, are you seeing the mindset? As though I stationed prostitutes. This is, I'm telling you, system. And we were not, the hall was just, we didn't grow beyond certain number of people. And that was what that system, that particular system. And it continued like that. It continued. And this is why, if you are going to be a successful leader, you must have a little bit of brutality in you. There are times you will see certain food, they are cooking it. You don't ask who is cooking it. You kick the pot and the fire and everything. You kick it away. You throw it away and you come back. People are going to say you are bad, you are wicked, but you are. Look at Moses. He went to dialogue with God, came down, the people have formed another thing. System. Can I tell you something? All those sisters and women who used to cook then and bring food, even give me and say, man of God, the Lord led me. Today, none of them is in church. Those men that formed the association and everything. You can imagine building a ministry on these people as your foundation. Where will you be and where will the ministry be today? And this is one of the reasons why many men of God are frustrated and the visions of God frustrated. It will die. Why? Because they camp around wrong people. You can't ordain outside. It is still within those people. So you will make this one a deacon, make this one a pastor, make this one, and this is the system they will carry to their homes. This is what they discuss. You will become the center of their discussion. Your messages will be weighed, your attire will be weighed, your family will be weighed, and woe betide you if you were not. I was not married then. So it was triple gossip. Because you have people of average mindset and thinking capacity. I couldn't talk to a sister. No. He didn't just talk to you. Hey! Sin! As though I will not marry. If Sister Esther brings food, so I was led to bring this one. Another sister said, see, Pastor Esther said, then lead them. She said she was led to bring something for Pastor. You see all this thing when I apply for this church, you know go work. That one will now start quarreling with the other one. And the other one will now check, will now tell this one, what kind of food did he prepare? He says jollof rice and chicken. So don't worry. You buy the other next Sunday is turkey and chicken. We forget the message, the vision. There's a system that is being built. And you know one thing? Every year it continued like that. If it was for 5 years, there was no soul that was won, that grew in that church for the 5 years. It was still the same cooler, rice, chicken, turkey, fried rice, chicken, turkey, fried rice, chicken, that you keep hearing. You keep hearing. You keep hearing. I know everything about this person's family. This one know everything about this person's family. This one know everything about this family. So once I'm free, I come to your house. You tell me what the latest. I release to you the latest. Then when there is no latest, there must be latest every day. And it continued until it was dismantled. The few, the remnant of that foundation you see are still following us, just remnant. And they came, they're still here, remnant. You know what these remnants do now? Let me show you their prayer point. Jesus Christ the same yesterday, today, and forever. Giftings the same yesterday, today, and forever. So when they notice that there's a little change, they become uncomfortable and say something is happening. So the first thing you're going to hear is, we are being neglected. We are not being cared for. We are not being loved. Pastor no longer has our time. Are you not seeing that the church is going somewhere? You know one thing? These people have never seen growth. They have never seen development in their entire life. Think of being born in Oworo, grew up in Oworo, went to school in Oworo, married in Oworo. You don't know what it takes to live in Australia, in America, in Texas. If they sell you that vision, you say it's a lie. You will never believe it. I had pastors. There were many pastors, you know, who used to come and see me there. Do you know how many cars I've given out so far? It's unthinkable. I'm still drawing my plans. You know what I'm trying to do? I'm frustrating a system. And that system is church as usual. No, sir. It is one of the reasons why giftings has been the way it is. If we have to transit, the formula we have used, can you even imagine? When you come in here, every time you come into this place and you see whatever, I want you to know it is as a result of the man of God is insisting on something. That I refuse to look back, irrespective of whatever, and say, no, sir. What God said must happen. That if you go by some of the signatures and the handwriting you see, we would have still been back. Probably being in AMC and begging. I offered Dr. Adedaimbo 6 million to take that up. You can't imagine it. As of then, 6 million. I didn't know how the news got to some of those ministers around, and they said, how can you give 6 million? What does that guy do with it? Where does he get money from? I offered that money by faith, because we're already doing 3 million. And if we're doing 3 million, to my mind, I was like, can do 16 million. Then the Redeem offered him 50 million. And he called me and said, check it. This is business. 6 million, 50 million. I said, the will of God. He said, will of God is not here, sir. It's business. I said, no problem. The Lord said, you are done here. I'm taking you to a new place. I sat on Okada, going to Bariga, and I just passed New Garage. Said, look, I said, what's this one? The Okada man was now telling me that they are building this thing, but they are building it for the big, for the rich. That if you enter inside, it's like a hall. They've not finished it. I said, wow, the light just beamed. So I said, okay, go. So when I was coming back, I told the Okada man, slow down. So I looked at the place. There was no signboard, no nothing. As the guy moved again, the Lord said, this is where you're coming to. I said, eh? He said, I laid it in the heart of the man to build it just for you. So it quickly dawned on me. So that description of the Okada man that said they are building it for the big and the rich. So it's we. All right? So now how do we enter there becomes the issue. Because I've carried a bundle and bunch of system. And a lot has been dismantled when we got to AMC. Yes. And the Spirit of the Lord told me, you will have to do some things. Take some of the people who believe and do an external programs outside. It was one of the reasons we went to Ajao. The Ajao program was not to win souls. It was to change the mindset and the mentality of the people I have carried for years. System. That there's a place better. Let's try to the place. Let's go to the place. See tiles. Yes, so. See executive chairs. Yes, sir. Come to a place where you will not see where they are selling beans. A people that are not mindful of mineral, meat pie, and egg roll. They came to serve, they dress well, and they go home. Yet, the remnant When they got to the place, they begin to look for where they sell beans because they came out of Egypt, stained it for 4 years plus. Part of the reason the Lord told me I took you to Jones Land is to stretch you. It's not for you, it's to stretch you, for you to know that there are people on the face of the earth. Because when I went to Reverend Telina's program somewhere in Shomolu, Telina said he was using a place that they paid 10 million per annum. I just looked and said, for what? Is it not too much? The moment I said that, the Lord said, okay, it's too much. He took us to Jones Land. We paid 980,000 per annum in Jones Land. At a time, we could not pay. They locked the place and told us to stay outside. You know why? I was not stretched. I'm serious. I was not stretched in my mind because I never believed that the people of God should be bothered when they come to serve God. I was coming from a Catholic background. What we give you 5 naira and 10 naira? Why should somebody give 1,000 naira in church? Are you doing Yahoo? So the Lord stretched me. It was me first, not the people. Because it has to be right with me before the people. Paul says, when it pleased God, who revealed Christ in me first, before he made me a minister to preach him. I have to see the picture right first. I have to be stretched, which means the system I see in church came from me first because I permitted it. So, and I never called anybody to blame them. The only thing is I was walking behind. I would just say, I don't want this again. You go and gossip and you're angry, but there's a people coming. Are you with me? Then we moved, we stayed, we had that, we had that, we had that, we had that, we had that. Then it was in Beverly. Some of you came, joined, sat down. Beverly gave us another kind of ministry, an announcement. But we didn't take advantage of it. Do you know why we missed that season I told you we missed? The system and the orientation. Remember that the orientation was, I never wanted the ministry. So it was part of the thing. Whatever that would make the thing get frustrated, I voted. Then the system of the people came. So we missed that season. We missed the season. Everything was completed in Beverly except we launching out to the world. We never utilized the social media and everything. Because in the vision I saw, from there I was told to the air. And we never did that. If they had seen it, they would have said, wow, that would have given us another leverage in life and ministry. It would have been a spring. But the system colonized it. And said this will not move further. The system. Then we moved from that place and got to this place. Some of the remnants came. Permit me to say something. Some of you, so it's raining now, so I have you here. Who stay here? When the rain for finish, who was? Someone like, let me use one person. I'll just use one person. Because I know that the remnant will still sell the thing. Once I mention it, you hear a new version. They are here. The remnant. They have people. Can you imagine I finish talking and you hear it? Okay. Someone like Stamaka, who had been with me for a very long time. A good person at heart, but a system inside. Pastor Maka is just like Sinach or Sinachi. Sinach saw a future in the ministry and changed. She evolved. Because if you don't see your future, your life in the ministry, you will not evolve. You will not change. You will remain. While others are growing and they are telling you, you will remain the same way. Your English will not change. Your intonation will not change. Your dressing will not change. Why? Because you don't see yourself. I had to. Iyati baba won bi mi da, emi gangan mo tutun rabi koruko mi. Hey. Are you with me? They have given birth to you, but you have to reborn yourself. I have to learn how to speak, re-educate myself. I have to choose intonations. Jesus will not come and do it for you. All he needed was to show me the picture, and I buy it. Now, you have to now start it. It's a work, it's a process, but you break yourself. Why? Because I saw it. So on many occasions, she has been approached. Evolve, change, evolve, change. Do it like this. Stop doing this thing. Like some of you. I have never hated. I will never. There's no hate in me. If you know me, you will know that there's no hate. There will never be hate. But you have stationed yourself like this, that gifting's the same yesterday, today, and forever. No, sir. It will never be. The system is the reason for the gossip. The system is the reason for the begging. The system is the reason for all the things that we see that we perpetrate. But it is changeable. That's just the truth. It's changeable. Because cultures are built over time. People had dreams. I called her on several occasions. You are my own. Sit down. Listen to me. I wish you could open my heart. See my heart. I love you, but you have to change. The Bible says Esau sought his birthright with tears, but didn't get it. They will cry, but they are not. That thing will come. It's not a spirit now. It's more than that. It's a system. A spirit, you say, get out. It leaves. A system, you will dismantle it. Which means you will have to wake up when you are not supposed to wake up. You will make your body uncomfortable. You will challenge your mindset by reading, by studying, by being awake. Brezu traveled. Before he traveled, last week. Was it last week or something? I called the woman that brings books for me. And she told me she bought the books. So I went to Jueleba. So I passed through. And we carried 70 books. Do you know, the moment we got there, Brezu could not talk till we leave the place. He'll probably be watching now. He was looking at me. I was the one I said, do the transfer. The thousands of... When he carried it, he was like... He texted me. Sir, I thought, you don't... Bro Tony he told me about one book. He gave me a book. I told him the next day, come and collect it. So he said, have you finished? I said, I finished it. Pastor Chi was laughing at him. The book is not enough. I must finish 2 books in a day. If it is, no matter how voluminous, it is discipline. You must die to certain things. You sit down with it, not just reading it per night. No, sir. You have Bibles and you have your routine. You have your routine. You have to. Do you know why? There is a future. There's something I have seen. And I call my own. I say, sit down. Let me tell you something. You know, this evening I called Sister Blessing. I wanted to tell her. But I look at the time, there was nothing. I wanted to tell her something. I always have something to tell you. What will push you out of me is not a spirit, it's a system. Because the system is not strong enough. But one of the attributes of the system is stubbornness. The inability to accept. You want to do it your own way. No, sir. It is that system that has. Do you know that the system, some of us are very comfortable with the number of people we see each service we attend. I drove, I purposely moved today. And I'm yet to see our banners. The banners are there. We parked them there. For the Forerunner Conference is next week, Saturday and Sunday. Why did we have 1 month time for preparation? So we could cover the place. It's there. Do you know part of the thing? System. Who will? I'm charged. I'm working. I'm not. I'm this one. It's that system. And I could sense the language again coming. Satan knows how to come into giftings. All he needs to do is to provoke those patriarchs with the system, and the oncology will come up. The excuses per time. We have become grandfathers in excuse. Grandmothers. That you are a pastor and you have given birth and people are coming and you are feeding your child in the presence of people that just came for service. It is not a spirit, it's a system. Do you know where it came from? Ohofia. It's from the village. It's escorting you. There are things you do not need training for. You wake up to the realization that there's a thing. Jesus said, when he came in and told them, no, let your will be done on earth. As he started teaching these people. Do you know why? One of the reasons why Peter could not pray? Because there's a system he's used to. There's a system. We have exceeded our formula. If we are going to outgrow this space you see now, whatever we see now, we need another formula. And the formula will not come until we break the system. And we here now. Take it that this is we here now. Let's just take it that this is we. We need a new challenge. And the first challenge is to tell yourself the truth. You are wicked. If you are the only man Jesus have, what will you do for him? What will you do for him? It's a system. We brought the idea again and again. Sometimes when I see people, it's not like I have not spoken to them about this thing. They want to make you a talkative out of it. So you just keep talking and talking and talking. Don't put this thing here. Don't do this one here. Oh, sorry, sir. Tomorrow is a system. On Sunday when we finished, I'm hearing drop off. Is he outside? Oh, here. Oh, okay. We finished Easter Sunday. I had a ministration. We traveled to Ogun State. I took some people. The plan was, we were supposed to come back on Monday. So when mom called, was when I said, let's go. And now, I've been booked. He told me that August, Benin, you will stay there for 3 days. I said, because I could not fulfill this one, don't worry. Part of the reason why I wanted some people to go is, I want you to see another dimension of ministry. Come and see that certain things are possible in certain ground. That a people left Abuja to be in Lagos. A people left Benin. A people left Port Harcourt. A people left Delta to be in Lagos for 4 days. And we saw them when we got there, all on suits, the way they are coming out. Nobody was dragging. I never saw where they were selling mineral. But yet they eat. It's a discipline. It's a discipline. A culture. When you have an uncultured people. That's why I told you, our parents can tell us something at home and we quarrel. We bring it in church. The man of God is talking, you cross your leg and you are drinking water. You are so uncultured. You are so undisciplined. And it's one of the reasons why you can't attract certain things. And when they are telling you, you are angry, just like you are angry when you are at home. And I'm not a South African pastor that will tell you to bring cane and I will use it on you. We were kept, the moment we came down, they were shocked. Because when I tell them, these ministers, that they are my friend, some people don't believe that you know this person. Say, this one is my friend, I know this person. He just came down, he had gone, he reversed, came back to pick me. Said, will you come down, enter? I said, no, I will drive and follow you. On getting there, he hugged me, said, he told them, he said, this one is not, it's my brother. We entered inside his room. I lay there, we're there. He said, wait, I'll punch you. This one will be church now. We'll fight, This is how we've been doing it way back in school days. He said, so what's happening? You saw it. I saw. His pastors will come. You take the suit, hang it. The shoe is here. This is here. Sir, this person has told us this one. This one has told us. There's ground for growth to come in the spirit of maturity the way it should. You don't find such system. And you know one thing? Everybody there. That is why when you go to Canada, it's one of the neatest places in the world. Do you know why? Everybody in Canada is educated. One of the things that system does is to make you uneducated. And the moment you're uneducated, and you can now be educated and uneducated. You choose. You choose. One of the things I encourage you when you come outside, go to school. Just go first. Part of the reason I say it so that you'll be able to understand me. Go first. Go. Sit down there. Hallelujah. Go first. Sit down. So the system is a nice place. There's nothing that makes you bound. It is how you see yourself. It's an opportunity. System. So what happened to Pastor Maka? One day, she just stopped coming to church. And you know what people expect of me? To call. Did they call pastor? If you call pastor, what you go do the member? Then they call deacon. Can't you don't use common sense, it's not common. Use scripture. Then they call pastor. You say, but Jesus said, if you have a sheep that is lost, it's a sheep, not the shepherd. Shepherd, not the lost. Tomorrow I stop coming as a shepherd. Give one the phone. Shepherd, no they miss. Now sheep go miss, you go find her. If tomorrow I didn't start, you know, what's wrong with you? I've been calling her, I was calling her concerning Sister Chika. Chika left it. I do give them transfer fare. To come. That's a sheep. She was telling me on Sunday now, sir, please, sir, I want to just, let me do something so that I can be active. That's Sister Chika. I want to come back to the choir. Choir, hold on. I said, let me finish doing it, then you can ask. She not laugh. I said, don't worry, take this for go. Thank you, sir. She has gone. That's a sheep. Do you know for how long I was praying for her? She was lost. That's the definition of lost. Total loss. Not a shepherd. A sheep. You know they read scripture? You woke up, took the Bible, and you left. Let me tell you something. They will look for me because there's a heart of love. You will come and tell you, say, that you won't sense. Not ever. I tell you, say, you don't get sense. Agree, say, you don't get sense. What is pushing you is a system. It's not a spirit. Agree that you have issues and it can be sorted. It's a system. Now God is giving us an opportunity. The Forerunner Conference. Like I said, none of you should leave this place without covering your area tonight. The flags, we will wake up to discover that flexes have gone everywhere. People need to hear. We can't be dormant. You can't keep quiet. I was raised to know that when you come to church and there's a seat empty, you cry and weep and ask God, there must be a soul. Then you go out. That's why I told you the target, the kind of people expected. You're telling me that you've not gone to Unilag, Yabatech, Laspotech, what are you doing? What have we done? Let me read you a scripture. Psalm 119. Verse 19. Did the rain soak you? Sorry. It's good for you. We say program now 6. They come by 7:30. Now kachoko. Psalm 119 verse 19. There's a brother yesterday. I think Sister Nkechi invited her. He works in the airport. He told me, he said, Pastor, I'm comfortable, I'm prosperous, I'm blessed, but I don't go to church. I don't just like church. For years, I've not been to church. He said, so this sister has been inviting him. She works in the airport, inviting. Just, okay, let me come. So that day, he said he came. He said, I just fell in love. He said, I went home. I said, I will not come. He said, so the upper Sunday, I didn't come. The other one, I came. He said, he went. He said, this thing is looking like, is it charm? He was talking to me yesterday. He did his hair, drew the whole thing, had his, said, you're handsome. He said, you like me? Like, yeah. Jesus like you. He said, wow. He said, Pastor, let me tell you the one that bust my head. I said, what's that? He said, on Sunday's message, you finished me. He said, I got home and I was praying, Lord. He said, I just prayed and said, Father, I'm tired of running. Show me the church I should ascend. And the Lord told him, he said, he just heard in a dream. That's the pastor. I said, yeah. So he came yesterday. And now told me, he said, where do I start from? I said, before anything, just be coming to church. He said, I have people. There are people like me who don't go to church. I said, that's why he warned you, so that you bring those people. He said, Pastor, no talk. No reach there. I'll bring them. He said, I'm rich. I don't need anything from God. I'm okay. He said, then you ministered to me and told me I'll be traveling. He said, yeah. He said, since that day I've been thinking. Also, you're complete. You know, I think all these things are fake. I don't lose. I said, but you don't lose. Say, I be rugged guy. I say, me say, I raw. He said, I even like some of the slangs. You know, you are a babu, you live in this. That thing caught the guy. Can you imagine? I just shared it jokingly. I don't even know where all these things even come from. Sometimes I hear this thing once, it will just stick. You will need it. Okay, look at what caught that guy. You're a babu, you live, I be like babu. Does it look like? We say, I just love, that's all. They just, and anytime, the other day I came, he just shout, Wahala. I just, this person like say, Day Street. I said, Day Street, here, not in streets. He said, I just feel free, I'm happy. I'll tell those guys. I said, bring them. And there was another lady, that one came from First Stack. Spoke to her, I said, Pastor, you don't know me, I'm an evangelist. This thing you told me now, see the way you accepted. He didn't give me water. He said, next week Sunday, I'll use boss. I said, boss, bring them. He said, no, leave them. Leave them. What did Jesus tell the woman at the well that made her an evangelist in 10 cities? This morning when I was coming, I told you of my daughter, that doctor in Ibadan. She called me when I was coming. She was shouting, my father, I don't kill for you. I said, no kill. How's your husband? The husband has just been promoted to... Look at him now. Look at Chief of Army Staff. He said he's coming to thank you by himself. He said every prophecy you gave him. He said, look at me. UCH Ibadan now is in my hand. He said, Pastor, that my son you told, you prophet. He said, the boys, after 4 years, going to 5 years of barrenness, Pam gave birth to the first one, US, second one, US. We talked, she spoke to me about plenty. There's no call. If she ever called me, the least thank you, sir, for calling me is 1 million naira. Thank you for picking my call is 1 million. If the husband calls me, sir, for picking, leave that side. Are you with me? Because sometimes I say it, I'm busy, I don't pick. She said, I've sent you a message. I read the message. He said, I know you will not answer me. I just said, let me try. And I picked it. She came when she was doing youth service. Look at who they are today. The guy came, he was one of the person that told me, I don't need anything from God. I'm rich. He and his colleagues. This one is a naval officer. This one is a custom. This one Air Force. This is an army man. They are like that. If we need anything, they are the ones that cover our crusade. They'll just call the army with it. I don't give them a dime. Down to the police. I just don't know how to call. Sometimes something would have happened and I say, oh, why not even call this person? But it doesn't cross my mind. He said, you picked us. Probably maybe if they have been in church, the system, where is Dr. Zobia? Through Dr. Zobia, I met the Rwanda president now. This one that is there. I spoke to him and said, you are going to win. He won. It was there I met the Oni. The system frustrated them. They could not stay. It was the system, not the spirit. He said, Pastor, I have a land, massive land in Apapa, massive land in Lekki. Let me steal you away. Let this place be a branch. Stay there. These people do not know your word. That was what he told me. I said, no, sir. They know my word. Children will always be children. Then he said, I'm coming. When he came out, he packed clothes, short, torn books, little books of notes that some of us wrote to him each time he's coming to church. Sir, help me. Sir, I need this one. Sir, I saw it. system. So we want a kind of us. The moment we are growing into something else, we leave the church because the system becomes uncomfortable. Somebody say, no way. No way. I've told you, if it is by offering, we'll not go anywhere. I don't look at it. It's none of my business. There are people who say, sir, be alive for us. But I keep saying something. You can become something better. If there's anybody who believes in you more, I believe in you more than you believe in yourself. I believe that this Brogbemi here, I believe that Sister Oluchi here one day can sign a check of 500 million and say it's my offering. Come out of the system. What? He says, I am a stranger in the earth, in the church. When it comes to growth and expansion, I'm a stranger. Don't hide the commandment from me. The secret to this thing. Don't hide it. There are secret to wealth, secret to expansion, secret to favor. I'm a stranger to these things. Don't hide them. I also want to be there. I don't want to just hear. I want to be a partaker. Don't hide it from me. These are my heart cry. Tonight, what we're going to do is just to confess certain sins. What is the sin? One of the sins is the things we don't know. And the ones we know that we are stubborn over. Just stubborn, not acting them. Because we have frustrated many things over the years. And we can't repeat it again in this program. Every one of you will go out. You can't be ashamed. You will take the banner. I want the Yaba covered. I want Surulere covered. I want to Juelegba. I want to see Ilupeju. I want to see K2, my 12. Let's cover the whole place. Let's take our flags. Go out. You can't sit down. No, sir. No, sir. Tomorrow is Wednesday. In the morning, what are we doing? We'll just wait, fasting. Oh, as we fast, we wait, we pray. We go out. Father, give us people. What's so good? Everywhere you are going to minister, to give IV, carry the banner. Tie it somewhere. Let them know. We can't keep quiet. If we just fast and come in here it's hunger strike. We'll just say, Father, we thank you. Then we'll go home. That's not going to change anything. It will never change anything. And it will not bring the people you want. It will never. We have dismantled the spirit, but we must now dismantle the structure, the system. We must say no to this thing. This is not how it should be. I must serve God freely. I must be humble in following. It is not a crime to follow a man of God, sir. It's a blessing. It's a privilege. Why are we making it look like you're the first? Peter, not be person born now. John, was he not someone's son? Why are you making it as though you become a liability? It's a call. It's a course. You follow. Sir, I'm here. Sir, what do you want? Sir, is this? He says, sir. You be dog? Yes, sir. But I must inherit something. Why are we making it look as if it's a big deal? Because when the blessings begin to come out, people will not know the process. One of the processes is honor. Take what I'm telling you. Tell them I need 10 banner. Tie it in Ojodu Beggar. Tie it in Festac. Tie it in Ikeja. Go out in the morning. Put the thing. Take not only the IV, because people might not know what the church stands for. We have magazine. Pack them. Put the IVs inside. Sir, good morning. So that when you give them, they are reading it. They can now glance through the magazine and say, wow, this is what this. I don't know. That's how we do it. We can keep quiet. Psalm 19. Verse 12. You're going out in the morning, you stand at the bus stop, you look around. There's nothing here. I'm coming back. Very early in the morning, you see people, beggar, bus stop. You see, what are you doing? That is not even the time to stay and start talking, but you can give out. Then you will choose people. And I told you our target for this program. The people we want to have. Begin to make your own arrangement. The boss, I told you, call us. If you feel the money is, just call us. Let us know. We want to have bosses lined up from different places. We've done it before. We can do it again. And not only that, after that, sustenance. The people must stay. It becomes a target. Not visitation. You stay. The Greek word is anangakezo. It says compel them to come. Compel them. You don't allow, you compel. Oh, guy, you go come. Oh. You don't come finish. Say, you see this IV. You don't come. Not by force, not by force. Compel. Anangakezo. You compel them. Who can understand his errors? I didn't know some of the things. How did I get to know about this system? It was many years after. Do I know before? No. Do we want to lose any other? No. I was asking somebody, do you think it's joyful for someone that has spent part of his life, 5 years, 10 years with you, to just stand up and leave? There's no glory in it. No, sir. There's no glory. There's no joy in it. No matter how you want to rank it, there's no joy in it. Yes, you can release the people that the Lord says you should release, but the truth of the matter is, there's no joy in it. But what is it that can make us not grow and become better? Are you seeing yourself in the thing? I told you, I shared something with you. The woman I once served and followed. It got to a point in ministry. The moment I start singing or praying, people will think she's the one because they hear her voice in my own. That is how, let me tell you something. Any man you willingly follow, his spirit will follow you. Everything about the person. Anytime you find yourself struggling, you are not there. Oh, Simbe. You know there. You see the struggle. You can't knot the tie the way it's not. You are not there. You are not there. You know there. You just pass. You are a shadow. You are not there. And it is time that will reveal this thing. You are not there. That's why certain things, when they happen, we are not surprised. Because from the beginning, you are not there. The man of God, your own man of God, 10 years, praise Mazila, Maleko. Your own is Kodu Kaba, Kodo, Kombo. You know get sense. You are not there. The spirit you are functioning with is a foreign spirit, strange one. Who give you Koto, Kunda? Where you get them from? If you are truthful to yourself, you heard it. You heard something. You listen to something more. So you borrowed. It attached itself to you. So you are going to have confused visions, confused dreams. We say these things and you think it's open. There's no time. I used to have training, so sometimes I show them. I would have shown you Bishop Oyedepo, Bishop Abioye, who compare their prayers. When Moses was gone, God told Joshua, he said, Joshua, continue. Why? He had the spirit. You see them praying. The disciples, what did they say? Teach us how you pray. You, how do you pray? As John taught, you want to bring John's method in Jesus' ministry. Kondu kobo. Bolotin ko, kilon ko. Sometimes I see some of us, you're praying, then you sit down. I'll be wondering, how? What kind of sitting down? What method is this one? You are sitting there crying. Who they beat you again? Stand up and pray. They see that he already. You are tired. I'm telling you the truth. Where are we from? Have you ever seen? Have you seen me pray before? Do you know where I pray? Do you know how I pray? I don't pray anymore. My pastor, with my spirit, pray, keeping quiet. No, sir. I'm not. You are not my pastor. I don't know you. I don't know where you came from, and I can boldly say I don't know you. If at this age we are not 70, who can understand his errors? Cleanse thou me from secret faults. Secret faults. They are faults, but they are in the secret. What are these secret faults? He dropped it in verse 13. He called them presumption sin. Look at it in verse 13. Keep back thy servant also from presumption sins. Let them not have dominion over me. Then shall I be upright, and I shall be innocent from the great transgression. Give me the Amplified. We'll break this thing, you see. No, sorry. Message. Clean the slate, God, so we can start the day fresh. Keep me from stupid sins. How can you say you are my son? You finish playing. You finish playing. You left it uncovered. If I'm cooking at home, if I want to, Brownie is there. The kitchen, you will not know that somebody used it. It will be neat and sparkling. It is only women that cook. You will die of hunger before the food done. They don't turn. They don't do this. We have how many burner? Sininia, put rice here, put stew here. Before you know it done. Allow you, the rice go down, no, the constant. You can't hear, Jai, say what's that? Say rice. Oga, Aromnas, Ago. Rice go take 2 hours. 9. This 2 now 4 hours. But that time, they don't play ball finish. Now you, you will come in. They say, don't worry, it's too soon done. Hey, go and buy gala. Okay, they happen to you. To worsen the case, if there are 2, you are finished. Buy mineral and drink. If not, the moment I come in, thank you, Jesus. Thank you, my Lord. Food is ready. Is it not? But it's gas, sir. It's not stove. And everywhere will be neat. If they cook, they'll be sweating. You think maybe they are climbing the roof. You'll be asking, why are you sweating like this? They climb roof. But when I come in, I'll just sweat. Hey! Everywhere. Spirit. You finish playing. Sometimes I watch. You look at the way some people walk, the disorganization in the language, in the culture, in every. You ask, where are you from? Stupid sins. Very stupid. It's the Bible, it's not me. It's there. You do things in and on, and if they try to talk to you, you're angry. I'm done talking. Let's pray. Father, forgive us for the things we don't know. We want to grow as a church. We have done what we know so far. Whatever formula we have used, we have gotten to this level. Thank you, Jesus, for the 1,000 that we have seen. But 10,000 is possible. What are you saying? Peter preached in one day. 3,000 came. One message. I've never preached one message that 3,000 came. He preached and now 5,000 came. I've never preached a message called for soul with 5,000 came. Lord, it is possible. Forgive us for the things we do not know. Forgive us for the ones we know and we refuse to act upon them. But Father, open our eyes. Show us. Show us. Show us. Show us. Open your mouth. Stand on your feet.